Hello developers, thanks for joining the SailPoint Developer Days. I'm Mike, originally from Taiwan. I'm the Senior Solution Consultant at Colgate, and I'm living in Germany at the moment. In today's sessions, I would like to share with you our development approach for the object-oriented programming approach in plugin developments. Okay, so firstly, we will have a brief introductions, and then we'll highlight the challenge and solution toward this problem we are facing for. And the main focus, of course, will be live coding and the demo session in the later of the session here. And then, okay, so, and who are we? So we are Colgate, a German company based in Europe, and we are specialized in identity and access management. In addition, that we also provide other solutions, consultancies solutions such as PAM and the role analytics. So come to today's main topics. So what's our development challenge here in the plugin developments? So that's in short, there's no Hibernate for the object-oriented programming. So what I mean commonly that for Java web applications, there will be a object or relation mapping ORM layer using IQ as an example. This is Hibernate. So the ORM layer basically help to translate the persist object into corresponding SQL queries and communicate the transaction between the persist object and the database. So, however, in the plugin framework, develops mainly relies on the plugin-based helper to execute the SQL query directly to the database. While this is not a bad approach, but it somehow complex the developments and also adds up the additional maintenance effort. For example, if our plugin requires to install on different type of databases and also need to support variation of SQL queries on different persist object, then this will be a big challenge to scale up the implementations. So what's our solution here? So our solution, I just call it a generic data access object. So it's not an ORM, but the target we are trying to do is to relieve the developers from maintaining those complex and handy SQL queries. Oh, sorry, next page. So what is DAO class? So I just aka call it DAO class, trying to provides. So first, abstract. So basically, this generic DAO class will abstract the data access to the databases. Developer then can focusing on defining the data models and utilize the OOP programming in the Bing shell code. Then next, we have it should support different type of database variations, including such as MySQL, Oracle, and the SQL Server. And it also provides various of operations, including create, read, update, and delete, and also search plus filtering. So we're trying to provide a reusable framework that can be reused for newly introduced object class. So this should ideally this should reduce the development and the maintenance efforts in the subsequent cycles. So in today's live demo, I come up with a simple plugin as a use case. So it's called Absence Management plugin. So what this plugin trying to provide? First, we'll have a table and a data model called to record absence records into the database table. And instead of using the fancy UIs, we're simply using the quick link workflow forms as an interface to manage the absence records. And then later we'll have a task which will scan through all the absence records and set up the forward user preference on the identity. Okay, next we come to the IDE setup. So for those who doesn't have any experience in the plugin developments, I would just recommend those two resources online that you can reference offline after the session. And for the development setup, I'm using Eclipse and IQDA plugin. Of course, you can using any other IDE by your own preference. And note that it's required using IQ 8.2 plus instance, because that we are in this practice we are using the script package features, which is only available after 8.2. Oh, this is just an example how we're going to using the IQ DA to initiate a plugin framework project on Eclipse. Okay, coding practice. Unfortunately, I'm not able to start from scratch, type each codes in this presentation. Instead, I'll just highlight in order to integrate with our approach framework, we'll provide all those files after the sessions on the community. And I want to highlight there are some classes and just give you a high-level explanation. So basically, the first one will be the DAL class. So this DAL class, basically, this class mainly helps to construct the SQL query for the plugin per season object. And we notice that under the model package, there are two classes. It's plugin DB field and plugin DB table. So those are the annotation interface, which facilitate DAL class to map the persist object with its database table. And we also have a paginator and sorter. Those are for paginations. Okay, so this is just the next slide. We're just trying to give you a reminder regarding the for the task executor. Just remind you to extend the base plugin task executor. And as we are going to using the script package, so remember to put the package, your plugin package under the script package list. Okay, then from the first step after every setup, that we will define a table schema for our object. So in this case, we just come up like for an absence record that we will need identity name, start and end date, and reason for the leave, and a deputy for the user. Okay, then come to the next most important part, that we need to define the model class. So the model class will first extend the plugin object. So the plugin object basically provides some default attributes such as ID, create timestamp, and a modify timestamp. So, and there are two important annotation, which is plugin DB table, which tells which map the persist object, this model class, to the corresponding table. And there's a plugin DB field, which map the attribute to the corresponding color on the database table. Okay, then for each object class, we should create a separate the DAO class and extend with the main DAO class. In this case, the create, update, and delete functions are inherited. We can then also define the get function and the search function. Note that in the search function here on the right side, we are also using the internal IIQ filter object for filtering. So, and then we need to the next one, we need to define a absence surface. The surface package, the surface class, will be exposed to the Bean shell code, and that means we also extend this to the generic surface. Basically, the generic surface is a way that we can simply utilize the generic surface. Basically, execute the corresponding DAO class method based on the method name. That's like we're using a method naming convention to execute the corresponding method on a lower level class. So we have a create absence, update absence, delete absence, and also we have a get absence, which give an example that how we using the DAO class in a programming way. And also we have get absence by identity, which demonstrate how can we using the filter in a search under the absence DAO class. Okay. So this is an absence executor. So basically, this executor will scan through all the absences record on the database. So if we don't provide any filter, and we don't provide any pagination or sorter object, then that will be scanned through all the records. And then if it's an active absence record, and then we'll set up the default user preference for that identity. Okay, so I'll skip those slides, but you can reference after the meeting. So I will do this part for the sample code in the live coding part. Okay, and we also have the XML artifacts that we will mainly using this in this demo as a managed interface. Okay, this is a way to build it, and I already built it, and it's already deployed to my local instance. Okay, so from now that we have still something to do here. So we have a 1 second. So we have 3 workflow cases, which is workflow forms and also corresponding quick link. So we can see that here there's a create absence, update absence, and delete absence. There are still something need to be done here. I just construct most of the code, but there are something still remaining we need to finish. So the first thing is on the create absence workflow form. Firstly, we will have a form that will allow the session user to select the deputy, start and end date and reason for the absence. And then those attributes will be returned back to the workflow, and then we will catch up in the next step and do the transaction to the database. So it's quite simple here. Once we have everything done, this part is really simple. So we just like how we do with the create an identity object. So we just like absence, new absence, and with it, this will be the will be firstly the identity name. Here is the launcher, which is the session user here. Okay, and then will be I just copy here, so just make it easier for me. So then will be start date, end date, and reason for deputies. I just verified quickly. That's how I have done this all correctly. Yep, ID name, start, end date, reason, and deputy. Good. And then we just simply call the create absence function here. Okay, this will be firstly get the context, and then we put the absence here. Okay, it will be A. Okay, that's the first part we finished. So that's quite very simple here. Good. And then we do then we come to the update absence here. So for the update absence form, firstly we'll have a form. Okay, and this form will have a field which allow the user to select which absence they want to manage to update its attributes, and all those are already configured. And we need to finish this part. Okay, so this part we would like to get all absence of the launcher, which is the session owner. So we'll utilize this function. In the absence servers, there's a get absence by identity. Good. There are 2. Yeah, I just see the first one. List. Just context, and there will be the launcher. Okay. Okay. Good. Then next, because I want to only providing the ID here. So to have a trick here that I'll scan through all the absence records. Okay. And then I'll create a list. Sorry, I should have a result first. List result. Also array list. And the list 8 a get ID. This is a value. So for those who don't know this, is that basically I want to give a value and the title pair in this allow value definition. So the inner list first element will be the value, and the second element will be the title, which is a display name of that, like a display value. Okay, I just put a title so we'll recognize. And then next we need to add this into the main result list. Okay, good. Now I'll just return the result. Good. Okay, assuming that this is totally working, and then we have the ID. So select the ID, then all corresponding dependency attribute will be pop up and calculated. The next part is that once we select ID and that form is it's select and all the new value is get it, then we would like to update it. So for updating it, I will just we should get the original one first. Oh, sorry, I just lazy, so I just copy it. and because this method will return an optional, so we also need to have a get afterwards. Okay, then we simply just update value. Set deputy. Okay. Apology for my laziness, but I think copy will be easy to avoid those typos. But that's how it is. So we at this moment you might notice that I don't really write any SQL queries. So how are we going to write those updates or insert SQLs that's to handle this? Because we have already done most difficult parts, that the generic DAO class will handle all those complexity. Yeah, in the DAO class. Yes. Okay. Just copy it to the right place. And then simply again just call this update absence context absence. Good. Then yep, that's all quite simple here. Then the last part is that we would like to do for the delete absence here. Okay, so for this part, that we will have a first again a list of absence in a multi-value multi-value field. User can simply just remove it directly on the GUI, and then in the end the result will be the target state of all the absence here. So now we're just going to write how can we remove all those delete all those absence. Okay, to cut some time, I would like just to have some quick copy here. Sorry for that. Sorry for the time limit here. I have no choice. Okay, so firstly, but I will go through the code. So firstly, we get the we have prepared the IDs. I want to highlight something here. The for the script package, our plugin class can only be recognized in a Bing shell, but it cannot be stored in the workflow variables. Workflow memory doesn't recognize, will not recognize those plugin class. So therefore, in my approach, I only store this absence is actually list of absence ID, it's a list of string. So here, that's why here firstly, I will get the all the absence and then store their IDs to a list. If the absence is not none, then I will remove all. That means the remaining there will be deleted. Then the later one, I was looping through all the IDs and just get it the persist object and delete it directly. Oh good, now we complete the first the part here. So coming back, okay. Now we have a demo. So in the past few minutes, I just present how can we using this to simplify all the the life cycle for the persist object, including such as create, read, update, and deletion. Okay, now we'll just go for example user here. So the sample user firstly will create the absence. This is called Jack, okay? And then I'll select a deputy like Mike. I'll select like, okay, from yesterday to this week. I'll say I will be on vacation here. Okay, good. Then let's go to the database, a quick look that where this created. Oh, something wrong here, or oh, there's something wrong. Okay. Okay, it's a typo. Good. It's not. I'm missing an N here. Okay, but that's easy. Launcher. Let's try again. Back here. Create absence. Put yesterday. Location. Next. Okay, finger course. Okay, now we have it. Great. So that's a create absence. Then we have update absence here. So we just simply quickly update it. So just be sure I just put that reason to be updated to vacation 2. Coming back again, that okay, if I click it, yeah, it's a vacation 2, so it persists on the database. Now we come into the delete absence. So simply delete it and next, and coming back again to check. Yeah, it's deleted on the database, so there's nothing here. So this is just demonstrate a very quick idea about how we using the DAO layer. Once we have everything set up, then the actual implementation on the Bean shell code is super simple. It's super straightforward. There's basically nothing to think about it. Okay, and I have more to demonstrate here. Okay. Firstly, I will create some dummy data here. Okay, good. Then I just run it quickly. Okay. Yep. So this dummy data basically this also the beauty of it. We can simply write the script which will generate all the dummy data. So you don't need to instead of you write your own SQL query, you can just using a programming way to that. And I also want to show you how can we do a filtering on the search. So let's say we want to construct a complicated search here. So there will be a filter, and then I just do the filter here. So the use case, like we want to search absence record, which deputy is Mike, which this is the ID name, and there will be a start date after this date. Okay. So I just put the database name here, and this will be the Mike, and then the start date will be after the next year, June 1st. Okay, let's just try it quickly. Yep, good. So all the records here are the Mike, and then the deputy is Mike. We search by deputies instead of searching by the identity, and all have the start date, which is after June 1st. Okay, and still have a little bit time here. Just want to give the last use case here that we want to enhance the form to have pagination. Okay. I'm sorry that because I'm running out of time, so I really need to using my cheat sheets here for the demo. Otherwise, I would really want to type by my finger, but you know, my finger is not that quick react here. Okay, save first. Okay, so I want to do a pagination in the update absence form. So we define the page, items per page, sort, and I want to define the dependency for the absence field. Okay, dependencies here on the absence, and we want this to be dynamic, so it will be updated always. And last part, we want to have the pagination here. So I'll put the pagination. Okay. and then put the paginator also in this class. Yep, here. Okay, so we create a paginator based on the page. The first will be the start of a page. Next will be item per page, and the sort by the start date, which is the ascendant or descendant. Save, and coming back to Jack. So identity, go to update absence. Okay, initial data 3. So we should only see 3 here. Good. If you want to see 5, what happens? There are 5. If I want to see descendant way, yup. The latest one is the September one's coming up, and I want to see the second page. Okay, the second page only 4. Yep. So all makes sense here. Yep. So I think it's time to wrap up all these sessions here. Of course, I have more to share with you. It's a very big topic, more about what we inside the DAO class, but unfortunately, I don't have the time in today's session. I hope you, but of course, all the source code and the presentation will be shared on the developer communities, and I will be also answer your questions. We can, of course, discuss with you in more deeper part. I hope you like today's sessions, and I wish you all enjoyed. Yep. Yeah. Oh well. I must be honest. There might be still some hidden bug within our source codes, and I also will be very happy that you to give us some bug reports or some feedbacks, questions, ideas for future enhancements. And thanks a lot. And I wish you have a good day.